And map bans coming out here. What do Cake and Addy like?
I think
They
they like flat maps and they like Great Hall, at least from what I've seen. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just
You're
trying
a
to say,
genius.
maybe I got a little brain up there. Maybe it's not big, okay, but at least it's something.
They did ban out Small Brawlhaven, which is like the second flattest map.
I mean,
But I
that's
imagine that's
understandable.
just too small, right?
Yeah, it's not because it's flat. It's just because, especially against a hammer and an axe, you don't really want to be playing on a super small map. So it makes sense. Mammoth, the tried and true pick among all Brawlhallers, from any region.
And as we start off here, pretty slow start, a lot of just avoidance of attacks. Addy continues to not have his first weapon, and he's going to be eyeing that weapon pick, but so are Hermisen and Ariel trying to cover it as much as he can. Now Addy sort of reverted to saying, if you're not going to give me a weapon, I'm just going to do unarmed damage. And he gets some good hits on Ariel, but it sort of is at the cost of the damage Cake has taken, which has already brought him down in that dark orange.
Ooh, Addy could have had a big string there, just barely misses the chase dodge input, and Hermisen able to live and able to get that down tick off for it. So that's a big moment that you kind of can't be dropping those guaranteed combos. And he tells me, you know what? I'm not gonna drop it. I'm gonna get that kill right there with that downlight recovery and cleaning up the edge guard as well. Hermisen going for a high recovery. Swords there. It's got that double hit. It can clean up those pretty well. With that being said, though, Cake falls down, and with the exception of Addy, it's a pretty even game.
Yeah, Addy, he had sort of a rough start there, not finding a weapon, but as soon as he got that sword, he cleaned up the kill on one end and then found the kill on the other. He's looking very strong now, and maybe he could be the cornerstone of this particular game for the red team. I was gonna say however long that stock lasted, but there goes blue team finding that kill there. Cake surviving, he got his jumps back and was able to get out of that downlight ground pound by he only got hit by the very tippy top of it, and so was able to jump out.
I love that downlight nair from Cake. He caught both Hermisen and Addy with that downlight, and he goes for the nair, which just, the range, Addy was outside of the range and it hit Hermisen. I mean, that's just like, you gotta know your teammate, right? That's 2v2 experience right there.
And Ariel was really struggling to find that stomp into side air. He got a few stomps in, was looking for the follow-up, finally found it. Cake goes down to last stock here. They're looking for the kill on Addy. They got some really good 2v1 damage, but Addy continues to stay alive, and now he's looking to turn it around on Ariel. Cake's gotta help out his teammates stay alive as long as possible, but unfortunately, whenever he gets sent out, it gets difficult for Cake to deal with the two people still on stage. And finally, Addy gets taken out, but so much damage taken, and now Hermisen and Ariel are red on their second stocks. We'll see how quickly Addy and Cake can take them out. One down by Addy, looking for the ground pound, can't quite find it. Maybe Hermisen can stay alive for a while.
And Hermisen is making their job of killing as hard as possible. Look at the top right. Look at how deep his HP bar is. That sidelight sending so far. And that sends a message in the opponent's brain, is like, oh, we gotta get rid of this guy. That downlight neutral light finally taking it out, but it's not like he didn't do work with that stock. You look at Addy and Cake's health and they're creeping into the red ever so slightly.
Yeah, everyone, when Hermisen got taken out, everyone was orange, and of course Hermisen was just at a nice little no damage taken without any issues.
Oh no.
That's not
that
what
could have been
see.
really bad. If Hermisen did like a neutral sig or something, I think Addy would have been taken out, but
well, that's a lot of
they're
team
not
damage
afraid
going
to hit
on.
each other.
Everyone's in red though, so some amount of success going on for red team despite the team damage, but Cake getting taken out makes this much more difficult. Addy, nice chase dodge to get right through that signature and get a punish. He's fighting it on both fronts, up and down, left and right, gets the kill onto Ariel, and now both Hermisen and Addy are very deep red, and the recovery's gonna do it from the bottom of the stage.
That was... Look at the KOs from Addy. Look at the damage from Addy. That was definitely Addy's game. He's putting Cake on his back. There's one moment right when Addy got put into the 2v1 in that edge guard. He did a really early sword recovery, and that just completely caught Hermisen by surprise. And I think that was the moment that it was like, all right, I can win this. He gets back to the stage, because a double edge guard is very scary. You don't want to be put into those, and so Addy...
And it was such a perfect sequence of events. He got that recovery to send one up, and then he chase dodged to the right to avoid Sentinel's attack, and then immediately pivoted and got the punish onto Sentinel.
Yeah, that's Sarah off the
Went
left
back
side.
up to distract Hermisen, went back down to finish the kill onto Aerial, and then did the 1v1 against Hermisen. Like, that is clutch 1v2 in every sense of the word.
Yeah, it's all about staying calm in those 1v2s. You can't overextend, and we saw that from Addy. I mean, if you're playing at this champion level, you gotta have a level head in those situations, and that's the clutch that we see coming out from Addy. And now Cake is starting to run away, starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. He brings.
I think it's really funny. Aerial got a neutralite, and Hermisen's plan was to hit basically all of them, and instead the only person he hit with his down air was Aerial.
Yeah.
And the recovery is going to take Aerial out real early. I'm sure the damage Hermisen did not help at all, and Red Team is off to a very strong start.
It's interesting. Their team composition is very much like a 2018 pick, not really a 2019 pick. This Val and Koji double sword. But Aerial and Hermisen, on the other hand, I don't know what year these legend picks come in. Sentinel, obviously a very uncommon character, and maybe Addy and Cake starting to figure out a little bit and run away with this game. We see the team plays coming out, hitting off each other, saving each other from hits. It's all about that teamwork in these 2v2s. If you play it like two 1v1s, it's not gonna go your way. And those big moments, you gotta clutch them out. You can't let those moments drop.
And Addy and Cake have done a phenomenal job in this game at finding every opportunity they have to follow each other up. Finally, looks like Blue Team's starting to get their footing. They got the kill onto Addy a while ago and finally got the kill onto Cake. And it seems like they're playing a little bit stronger. But of course, finally playing stronger after you're down 3 stocks, that's not a deficit you want to try to be making up.
No, especially when Aerial is on his last. Like, down 3 stocks, maybe if you're on your second, it's okay, but on that last stock, when both Addy and Cake are, I mean, they're in kill percent, but they're not in any immediate danger right about now. That's a lot of added pressure on top of not wanting to lose the game. All that comes together, and Addy and Cake they look pretty comfortable.
Look at this. I mean, here's the thing. Addy and Cake are both in kill percentage. If Hermisen and Aerial land the attacks, it's down to 1 stock for everyone, and Aerial's not in orange yet. So I think there's definitely a big possibility for Blue Team to bring this back, as long as they play carefully, which they've started to do a lot more in the tail end of this game.
Yeah, what you said about they're starting to hit their groove late into the game, it's definitely true here. We see Aerial with a lot more control, a lot more stage control, and Hermisen is kind of patrolling the airspace, not letting Cake land. It's looking very, very doable. The same story happened in the reverse in the last game, where Blue Team was ahead and then Red Team made a comeback. For all intents and purposes, this is pretty much an even game.
But Aerial's definitely the weakest link here, and he's got to be so careful. I know he's trying to stay alive without being a basically dead weight for his teammate, but the recovery is going to do it. Addy and Cake find the hits they need now. It's down to a 1v2, and Hermisen took a lot of damage while Aerial is trying to stay busy staying alive.
Yeah, that's the danger of playing too safe. If you're afraid of dying in that 2v2 space, is your teammate, your teammate needs you, So that's why we saw Hermisen take a lot of that damage. Aerial wasn't really there to put on extra pressure, and we saw the Sarah Daenerys. Hermisen's still not dead. All right, there it is. That was actually looking a little scary. Addy and Cake deep into the red, and these are the type of games that we love to see. It's like one team starts to run away, and then they bring it back, and then it's super close. Both these game 1 and 2 were like that. Red Team with just a little bit more of the clutch factor, able to clean up both of those, and now they're up 2-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, even the smallest amount of clutch factor, they're up 2 whole games. Hermisen and Aerial have to really start taking it basically in a much more confident way as we go into these next few games, if they get that opportunity at all.
Now let's take a look at these map bans. I think they're gonna ban out some of the flat maps, like Shipwreck Falls. They're gonna ban out Twilight Grove, probably just because they lost there, and we're just going back to Mammoth Fortress. I think it's the map that most players feel the most comfortable on. It makes sense coming out from this team, and game 1 was definitely their game to lose. They had that 2v1 scenario, so makes sense. Jumping into it, Hermisen goes pretty aggro. Addy picks up the weapon anyway. I like that from Addy and Cake. One player missed the weapon, and then the other one just picked it back up.
And now it's Hermisen, who had no weapon for a long time, and Aerial took so much damage he lost his weapon. Again, strong start for the red team, and I'm sure they're feeling very good about that.
That was great awareness from Ariel on that neutral light to recovery. Addy tried to dodge horizontally out, but because the platform was there, he instead got a dash, and Ariel was able to basically true combo that neutral light to recovery. I really like that. That's some Qatar expertise coming out from Ariel.
And now the red team's
Although he
actually
throws it
split
away.
up. Hermisen finds a recovery, and it looks like they are going to be able to start taking maybe a lead here. They've taken quite a lot of damage. Addy does finally manage to take that out. And double recoveries coming out from Addymestic. And red team takes the lead back. And yet again, we're in a very close start here.
It seems like red team is not working like nearly as hard to get these
Wow.
confirmed kills as blue team is. And that's like one of the reasons why they keep running away with damage leads, especially in that last game. With that being said though, I think Addy was the first one to fall, and so every little bit of damage they're getting now is on the weakest players. That's pretty big for the blue team, but no. If you
We've
don't
seen
get
Addy
those
can
kills,
make
the
that
damage
back.
lead doesn't really matter that much.
That being said, Hermisen certainly was looking for it up against Addy here. Isn't going to find it though. He threw away his weapon, couldn't find it unarmed. That's going to be a difficult prospect, but instead Addy continues to stay alive, and as long as he's alive, they're going to continue to rack up damage onto the Blues team in any way they can. Finally, the side sig does it, trades it out with Hermisen, down sig for Ariel, and now last stocks for everyone except Ariel.
I got really worried for Hermisen there because he just threw out an unarmed side sig in neutral. I was like, no, Hermisen, don't tunnel vision too hard on the kill. And he ended up getting that spear side sig, but paid for it from Addy's gauntlets. And that's what's sort of what I was talking about. If they can't clean up the kills quickly, the damage lead will be brought back, and Hermisen was put in kill percent for that side sig kill. We just hear
Ooh,
all the
man.
sword noises coming out. That's all we heard for like a solid 6 seconds there. This is so even. Like, despite it being Addy and Cake up 2-0, it definitely does not feel like that. This is such a back and forth within the games, not necessarily within the set, but Addy and Cake just seem in these small moments to take it away. And something like that, where that team combo, you gotta get that confirmed kill. You can't let Cake tank the stock. Any damage he does now is like, it's just added pressure after that.
It's just icing. Oh, and Ariel unable to find that side sig as well. Looks for the weapon throw onto Cake. Cake avoids it expertly. On the opposite side, Hermisen gets sent off stage, so Addy comes in to help his teammate. Everyone's down to dark red territory here. Cake misses
Cake
the
misses
neutral
the
signature. Hermisen, can he make it back?
He's got the
No!
oh, it's not enough. And Addy knew it, he
Barely.
didn't even go for it. And and this is what we're talking about, Cake cleaning up with the side sig. You gotta make killing, or your opponent killing you, as hard as possible. And that's what we saw from that last stock. At the very beginning of the set, I was like, you know what, speaking about players that